What if every road you've ever taken or are about to take, even the wrong turns and the dead ends, was quietly leading you towards others you were meant to provide service? That's what I set out to do. One town, one story, one act of service at a time. Every town carries a story. Within each one, someone or something is quietly changing lives. I travel, I journey to find them. The rescues, the charities, the change makers whose mission is bigger than any headline. Because real service deserves real understanding. I was raised in a town of fewer than 12,000 people off the coast of Long Island, New York. My parents, grandparents, and even great-grandparents were also raised in a small or tiny town, from the East Coast to the West Coast and everywhere in between. Maybe that's why I love small towns so much. They remind me of who we were before the world sped up. There's a simple kind-heartedness that still opens doors, waves at strangers, and checks on neighbors just because. It's that spirit that shaped my belief. Life is always about assisting others we meet along the way. And you could quote me. Life is always about assisting others we meet along the way. When I began Voices of American Rescue, I wanted more than a series. I wanted a movement of integrity, a living map of America's benevolence. I filmed to restore faith in service, transparency, and in the belief that being in harmony and joyful still matters. Now, when I first started traveling, I didn't have a purpose or process. But after prayer and meditation, now I am divinely led to verify, vet, view, visit, and video, the 5 V's. My work starts long before I arrive anywhere. I usually choose a small town to go visit and then go to the IRS website to see how many nonprofits in good standing are rooted there and within 50-mile radius. That research is where the story begins. Because when I go to the IRS nonprofit database, it actually tells me if the charity is actually a nonprofit. Then it lets me know exactly where it's located, when the nonprofit status, if they file taxes, if they lost their nonprofit, and all the other stuff related to IRS websites. Then I check out the reviews and community feedback. Social media, websites, everywhere I could look and search. It's kind of like a deep dive. Then I speak with local groups, people for the ethical treatment of animals and the humane societies. Then I even contact the sheriff, just in case the organization is in not just good standing, great standing. And to be truthful, out of all the rescues I'd worked with, hundreds of them, there were 6 of them that had major abuse complaints. Transparency isn't paperwork all the time. It's the trust a town places in the people who serve it. After the research comes faith. Faith that will be led to the right places and people. But I've noticed that when I didn't meditate or pray about it, I didn't find places that were good for me. Sometimes when I don't pray about it or meditate on it, and I just search the IRS website thinking that I found one, or go to the social media thinking I found this would be perfect, I notice that it's not perfect. There's too many red flags. So I know that I need to meditate and pray about it before I even go to the IRS website. And since I don't have a home base, I don't have a signed lease, and I have no set address, that freedom lets me live guided, moving every few months, exploring America's backroads and meeting those who serve with intention. It's also given me the gift of photographing sunsets. I've photographed a sunset every single day that I've been on the road, 2,698 and counting. Each one a reminder that endings can be as beautiful and gorgeous. Every story begins with faith. But service is more about research. It's about relationships and community. Trust only works when it flows both ways. Every rescue, every nonprofit, every community changemaker I showcase is to know their hearts and understand their deep-rooted purpose. They trust me to tell their story truthfully and with reverence. You got that? With reverence. And sometimes that reverence, I shed tears. Just a forewarning. Trust and faith, the foundation of every story. That's why I rarely email first. Most rescues don't have time to read them. They're out and about and doing their own work. So I call when the timing feels right, usually after meditating and being guided. Because that first contact with somebody, a rescuer, sets the stage for the whole trip. I spend time connecting before filming, because when someone shares a story through tears or triumph, it's not contact, it's powerful. It's powerful. Every community changemaker I feature, every rescue, charity, and organization is a business in great standing. And like I said previously, they've been vetted, verified, viewed, visited, and videoed before ever appearing on my channel. When people speak, they're not just sharing resources, they're sharing faith, and that trust deserves to be honored. I've watched how honesty rebuilds communities, restores confidence, and reminds us that goodness and love still exist in abundance. Since I grew up in a small town on both coasts, they remind me that neighborhoods are temples of our lives, and generosity doesn't need applause, only understanding. In every place, I meet people who live their faith daily, not through words, but through action. They give their time to others simply because it's who they are. Humanness lives in every corner. You just have to go find it. Luckily, I find them. Each story comes full circle. Born in faith, ending in transformation. My purpose isn't only to spotlight charities, it's to remind us that service and growth intertwined. That witnessing truth awakens something divine within. Maybe it inspires someone to volunteer. Maybe it encourages a new act of giving. Or maybe it simply helps someone remember. Love is ever present in all of us in some shape or form. We need to just remember we are all interconnected through the mind of our Creator, who sees us as perfect and worthy. Voices of American Rescue isn't just about animals. It's about humanity, purpose, and the faith that unites us through service. The quiet change makers, the small town visionaries, the families turning conviction into movement. One act of service for all, one incredible story to share. Too often, negative stories echo louder than truth, while kindness and integrity go unseen. But when we share empathy, courage, and uplifted purpose, we begin to shift the energy of the world itself. Each time you share a story that elevates humanity, you become part of that transformation. Proof that light multiplies when it's given freely. Share what restores faith. Be part of the change. Because what you'll find here isn't just stories. It's the spirit of America. Alive, illuminated, and interwoven through every charity I visit and story I share. Subscribe, watch, and share the good. Share the love.